This is The World Now, bringing you the latest stories from around the globe. U.S. President Donald Trump says he is considering sending Tomahawk cruise missiles to Ukraine. Trump's remarks follow a weekend phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, who urged stronger U.S. support to launch counterattacks and insisted that the Tomahawks would be used only against Russian military targets. Zelenskyy will meet Trump in Washington on Friday to discuss air defense and long-range capabilities. However, Moscow warned that supplying Tomahawks would trigger a major escalation and further strain U.S.-Russia relations. The missile's 2,500-kilometer range would put Moscow within reach from Ukrainian territory. Trump's stance toward Vladimir Putin has hardened as ceasefire talks stalled, and now he warns Russia not to, quote, test Washington's patience. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov calls the idea, quote, of extreme concern, saying Russia cannot know whether incoming Tomahawks carry nuclear warheads. In Madagascar, weeks of protest and growing army defections have caused President Andry Rajoelina to flee the country. An opposition figure confirmed that officials acknowledged the president left Sunday on a French military plane after elite troops joined demonstrators. In a Facebook address, Rajoelina said he was in a, quote, safe location and vowed not to allow Madagascar to be destroyed, yet refused to resign. France's President Emmanuel Macron urged calm and respect for constitutional order, but declined to confirm French involvement. Protests that began over power and water shortages have become a national revolt over corruption and poverty. According to the UN, at least 22 people have died in the protests, with the Senate now taking interim control and the military asserting power. Madagascar faces its worst instability in a decade. In Mexico, at least 64 people are dead, with another 65 missing after a week of torrential rain triggered flash floods and landslides across 5 states. Officials say rivers overflowed and entire neighborhoods vanished as floodwaters tore through Veracruz, Idalo, and Puebla. More than 100,000 homes are damaged and 80 communities remain cut off. Troops are airlifting food and water to isolated towns still in darkness. President Claudia Sheinbaum says thousands of troops have been deployed to the affected areas. Finally, to the U.S., where California's Governor Gavin Newsom has signed the nation's first law regulating AI chatbots, rejecting the White House calls for a hands-off approach to artificial intelligence. The new law forces chatbot operators to build in critical safety measures for users and allow lawsuits when failures cause harm. Supporters say it closes a deadly gap exposed by recent teen suicides linked to unregulated AI companions. The bill was inspired by the death of a 14-year-old boy who had exchanged suicidal messages with a chatbot modeled on a fantasy series character. Newsom said California, quote, won't stand by while companies continue without limits or accountability. 주지현, 아리랑 뉴스.